In Affinity Photo, you can apply the Displace filter to create all kinds of conforming effects to things like curtains, as well as, of course, text and other images. This is for PC and Mac. So first thing to do, I've got this layer. Now I'm just going to create this layer. It's just a curtain, but it could be anything, of course. I've just used a curtain because curtains always look good when you're doing a displacement, but it could be water, metals, all those kind of things. And you can see now over here in my layers panel, I've got lots of layers, all with the word singing. Very inventive. Of course, you could use lots of layers with different words in, perfectly reasonable as well. Maybe create a whole load of different images, different words, and in different ways. All I'm using is this one, Adobe stock image. And I'm just applying various filters and adjustments. But the key thing is I'm using a grayscale. So layer, and then just go to new adjustment layer and black and white. And click merge. Now you can tweak it, of course, in all kinds of ways, some effective, some not, and click merge. And that should be merged together. Now you've got a black and white image. That doesn't always work. Sometimes the merge seems to ignore it and you end up with both layers. But okay, so you've got this. Then I would suggest go to filters and apply blurs. Now I've used for quite a few of these ones, Gaussian blur. But what you can also do is other ones. Radial blur. I'm just going to use a radial blur. Very quick angle. And you can see you've got the word sing there. And that again can be used to create some interesting displacements. Doesn't have to be radial blur. It could be Gaussian blur. Maybe apply it 1 or 2 pixels and click apply. So this effect, I can now copy it. So select all, edit, copy. And I'm going to go back to this image of a curtain. And I'm going to use it as a layer. Now let's just paste it in. So edit and paste. And of course it's on top, I don't want that, but let's put it a bit further down. For the displace filter, what's active is the key thing. Not if it's not visible, it has no effect. So let's just make that invisible. And this is the radial one, I've just copied it in. So you can, if you want to see it, there it is. And you can move it, of course. Another thing that's probably a good idea is move it across, reposition it. Make certain you select the layer you want to displace. So I've got that one selected, filters, and go down to distort and displace. And now use this strength. Doesn't make any difference. It's one of those weird filters that you'd think it would just default to something. If it's got some layers, please default to it. But no, you have to click here. My apologies, my phone keeps ringing for some weird reason at the background. Okay, so I've got here strength, 512. That's the maximum. That is the maximum for this filter. Don't know why they didn't put it at 2000. There's no angle feature, etc. All we got is the strength. This appears to have no effect on any of these ones. Maybe it works for this, but it certainly doesn't work for load map from layers. Why do I use the layers? Well, personally, I like to have the flexibility of trying things out. I find load map from file. You could, of course, create a library of hundreds and hundreds in a particular folder. In this case, I've got them in this image. You could store them away in the assets maybe. Okay, so you've got this and you can see now this radial effect and click apply. And the key thing is that's selected and this is visible. Now you can have more than one visible. And you can sort of go down here and select this and select this. All these ones, again, go here, filters. Let's just undo this actually. First, let's go back to the curtain. So you can see you can select a couple of them there. And then again, go to filters and distort and displace. And again, apply it, load map from file. Whoops, I didn't mean that one. That's the one I don't want to do. Often crashes it. So load map from, I always prefer the result actually from this as well. I don't always find the result from the file one as nice looking. I don't know why, but it seems to have problems. And then you can see now you got this. Now this one's obviously the motion blur effect. That one's here. It's the top one because unfortunately, if there's no transparency, it does mean that everything below that is ignored, even though it says layers beneath. The layers beneath have no effect whatsoever if there's no transparency in the one above. So you just get what you get. So then click apply and you can see the result there. So let's just undo that. And a lot of these were created in different ways. So let's just go here so you can see that one's the radial one. Here's one. This one was created just using a blur applied to a threshold effect. Simple as that, threshold. So in this one, if I go back, let's just undo that, just go back here, just simply use something like here, layer and new adjustment layer. And again, threshold, create a threshold effect like that. You can vary it, of course, you can vary it. Now you could apply a blur beforehand as well. That creates interesting designs. You can see as you change that, merges together, then filters and blur and Gaussian blur, and then click apply. Again, select all, edit, copy, and then you can paste it back into here. So paste it back in here, and you can see you can create multiple ones of these ones. Now, this one, I'm actually going to shrink it. So you can see that I'm going to show you can use multiple ones. So I'm shrinking that one. And I've got this one here as well. So let's just, you can see that one there and that one. Now, if I go back here to the background, make that active. Key thing is to always remember to work on that layer. If you work on another one, it's not going to work. So filters, go to distort, and then down to displace. And now let's just drag that across, load map from layers beneath. Now you can see you can get this effect. So you could create maybe sort of ones that have got transparency for the entire word or whatever you're using. Maybe use the select menu and select subject to create variations around ones that have transparency all here. So you don't get this additional bit of effect. And click apply. So you can see the result of 2 layers being used in this. But the key thing for this is that you've actually got some transparency in the layer. This area was clear. So just undo, back to the curtain again. One thing also that's really useful about this is you can go here, and I've got this background here selected, go to filters, distort, and then down here to displace, right? And then load map from layers beneath, and you can see the effect there. Okay, what if you want to change it? You think, oh no, I don't want that one. I want that one or that one. Well, you can make these invisible. So invisible there. You'll notice that nothing changes. There's no auto update. I don't know why. It would be really nice if it did have an auto update. So when you go up here, I'm selecting this one now. So I'm selecting this one, making it visible. All the others are not visible. What you need to do is then load map from layers beneath. And now you actually get the effect applied. Don't go out of it. You don't need to go out of it. And then modify this. So you can just try it. And then, of course, don't click apply at this point. So you might decide, oh, I don't want that one now. Let's just go to this one. And you can set that one. It doesn't have to be anything. You don't have to select or anything. Just make sure it's visible. Load map from layers beneath. And then you get that. And that's the motion blur effect. And then click this one. And again, make certain that's not visible. Load map from layers beneath. That's the radial blur effect. And then again, just click that one, load map. And you can see you get this one, which is obviously a slight small one right in the corner here, which can create some interesting sort of logo designs. Maybe you've got your image here, but you want to put your logo in here, a watermark or whatever, just using a lovely displacement like that. I think that creates an interesting effect. And again, you can just go here, deselect that one, and then load map. And you can see the effect. I think that one's the nicest one, just using a blur and threshold effect. That's all it was, threshold and blurred. But you can do the other way around. You can blur it, use threshold, and then blur again. You can create all kinds of combinations of these words, which all can be then stored away in assets maybe, or if you want, maybe use the file option as well. But as always, I've had more crashes from that than any other feature in Affinity Photo. And again, let's just go for the other one. So I'll just demonstrate those ones, the load maps. And you can see the effect there. You've got sort of threshold effect there applied. Again, let's go for another one. Load map from, you can see again, I've just got that one there and a bit of obviously edge there. I've done a bit of brightness effect to this. So it's sort of very white for the other part. So it's hardly any distortion there. And you've got the word sing there. And this one, let's just go for this one. Load map. And you've got this one as sort of obviously the image, but slightly blurred. And you can make all kinds of variations on this one. And again, last one, but not least, that one, which is basically very little blurring applied. And you can see when you don't apply that much blurring, you get a lot of noise around it. Since the original image, if I just go back to the original image, let's just go back to that, you can see this has got a lot of possible noise there when you've, of course, applied that blur. So you can go back here And you can then see and create some interesting effects. Again, just by changing the strength backwards and forwards. Like I say, it would be nice if you could go angles like this, as well as smoothness within the filter itself. I do not know why that's not available. And then click apply. So that is a run through of using the Displace filter with obviously just a basic image that I've got lots of different designs using threshold, etc., that can be quite effective. Hope you found this of interest. Some comments about this. Have you used this technique? Are you using this approach to create some interesting designs? And also, what sort of things do you do with this? Do you apply other effects as well to create maybe different designs, maybe distort it in different ways as well? That's another option. Now, I've used it just a basic word, sing, but you could use it with text. You could also use it with the word sing, but you could distort the image, use all kinds of other filter effects, and then combine that with this, obviously this curtain here, and then click apply once you're happy with it. Bye.